What's up, guys? Someone on the Patreon page asked for a comparison part numbers for how to swap a 420 transmission to 500 gear ratios. So, if you're not aware, the Rancher 420 has higher gear ratios in the transmission. I'm talking about like splitting the cases in there by the crankshaft. It's not a huge difference, it's like maybe 10%. Um, but that's one of the reasons a 500 pulls tires so much better is because the main shaft and the first gear are lower. So you can see 13 tooth versus 14, 17 tooth, 18. A lot of the ratios are actually different, but the one that most people are concerned with is first gear. So the obvious question is, can you take Foreman 500 gears, throw them into a Rancher 420 bottom end, and get a gear reduction? The answer is yes. Why would you do this if it's only 10%? Well, these gears are after both of the clutches. So like a secondary reduction, it takes stress off both the clutches. A gear reduction, a primary gear reduction, only takes stress off of the centrifugal clutch. So slight benefit there. Also, if you're just trying to get the lowest gears possible, it's pretty cool. Also, if you have a 420 and a 500 motor laying around and the 500 motor is really messed up, you could do this maybe. But anyway, here's the part number differences. So I went through, looked through all these spreadsheets and compiled all the part numbers. I'm going to show you what is different. So 420 here, 500 here. This is 2015 foot shifts. The ES has some very slight differences if you look at the shifting mechanism and the springs and stuff, but it's pretty close. But just looking at the gears themselves, so the first and second gear are on the main shaft. Those are different, so you have to change that part. And let me just explain this first. So I did red and yellow here. Red is if you wanted to change out every gear to be 500. Yellow is if you just want to do the minimum and change first, second, reverse. Now, why do you have to change first, second, and reverse? Because you have to change the main shaft, which results in you changing first, second, and reverse. So yeah, if you want to do the minimum, it's about $500 in parts. If you want to do everything swapped over to 500, it's about 1,000 in parts. So it's not very cost effective. You should really just get a bigger primary gear reduction, but hey, whatever. People always ask about this. So yeah, main shaft's different. First gear is different, obviously, because main shaft's different. Second gear is different. Reverse dog is different. And then third gear is different, and fourth gear is different. And fourth gear main shaft's different, fourth gear counter shaft. Fifth on the main shaft is different. What's interesting is that fifth on the counter shaft is the same. And reverse is obviously different because reverse, all of that goes off of the main shaft as well. But yeah, so these are all the part numbers you need to change. Like I said, red is you have to change it to do a complete swap. Yellow is you have to change it just to do first, second, and reverse. If you look at the next diagram, which is, one second, you also have to be concerned with the shifting mechanism, right? Shift fork. What's it under here as? I thought it was under shift fork. I don't see it right now. Doop, doop, doop. Gear shift fork, that's why I couldn't find it. You have to look at this. The shift drum and the shift forks that are actually where you split the case are the same. The only differences here is this plate number 11 and this shaft number 16. Those are the two important differences. These output shafts where your shifter goes are slightly different. I just think they're just different lengths, so you probably don't actually really need to change that. But anyway, here's all those part numbers compiled, and like I said, there's only three differences here between the 500 and the 420, which is that plate, the arm, and the spindle. But yeah, so hopefully that's helpful if you're looking at trying to do this kind of conversion. This is the kind of thing I like to do because it's kind of an OEM upgrade, and it gets you some more torque without sacrificing any reliability because it's all OEM parts. But is it cost effective? If probably not. However, if you're tearing down your transmission anyway to fix a stripped out gear or something, you might as well upgrade while you're in there.